Once I had a very short, like 5 minutes Uber ride, where a man asked me a lot of questions. And when he found out some facts about me, he asked, "Why have you been married 3 times?" And it was a very short Uber ride. It's not enough time to explain all the circumstances and the reasons. And I was a driver, by the way. And I said, "I like weddings, okay?" It was a good answer because it honestly, I like weddings. I had 3 weddings in my life, and I noticed one thing, that the way how wedding goes, that's how marriage goes, in my case. So first wedding was like kind of stressful. My awkward first husband stepped on the bottom of my long dress and ripped it in half. And maybe I had to take it with a sense of humor and say it's like a bride strip, show. But I was pretty mean to him. I said something bad about him as a person. And after 9 months we divorced, not because of that, but maybe a little bit. And he proved me right after. Second wedding was like at home, really boring, as well as the marriage. I've got 2 kids, so thank you for that marriage. I have 2 beautiful kids. And a third wedding was a carnival. So I didn't take the third wedding like seriously, like I need to wear a dress or something. So I was a Pippi Longstocking. And my husband, my videographer today, he was like dressed up also with some, I don't know, it's hard to describe. And all guests were wearing something crazy. And I think weddings are magical. Sometimes things were said at the wedding can be something. So for example, at my friend's wedding, once I was a witch. It was like hard time in my life. I was tired housewife with a newborn. It was like a breath of fresh air, that wedding to me. I was tipsy. And there was like, in Russia we have like funny contests, like we have the person in charge of entertainment, we call it tamada. And there was funny contest about like guessing the future gender of the kids they're supposed to have. And he said, "Okay, you're gonna have a boy and a girl." And the groom, husband already, he said, "No, not a single boy. I want one girl. I came up with her name when I was a child. Her name is gonna be Eva. That's it." It was my friend and ex-classmate. And I said, "Don't play with universe. You don't have to say such things with this confidence. You might end up with 2 boys instead." Everybody heard me, like, haha. They didn't laugh after like 3 years when they had 2 boys. And 10 years later they tried again, twice, and they had 2 more boys. And I didn't wish them 2 boys, I just warned them, and then, yeah. But, at the wedding, which was a carnival, I said something. So I was wearing a wig with this, how do you call it in English, the white thing? Veil. Veil, thank you. So everybody could try it on, I guess. And I took it off and I said, "We'll be back." It was a quote from the movie. And we came back exactly in a year, because I didn't know it back then. This venue offered to celebrate anniversaries there. When I found out, I called them and I asked, "Can we celebrate anniversary?" And how many years do you have, guys? I was like, "A year." And they said, "What? It's usually 10, 20, or 30, like 25. I was like, a year is a really long time for us. My first marriage was 9 months. I didn't say that. And they said, "Okay, come and show you a wedding album." I was like, "Oh my God, they're not gonna let us do that." Because they were shocked when we showed up for the first time. I said, maybe I should bring my first wedding album. It was at the same place. But no, I wrote the real one, and they took it with a sense of humor. So we showed up. By the way, I have a little bit cheating. It was a Simchat Torah holiday, October 20th. So we dressed up. I'm Russian Jewish, and we dressed up like all this. I worked in a synagogue back then with all this style, and we had the signs in Hebrew: a good husband, and I had a good wife. And the mother of two boys back then showed up as American police officer. And I don't know why I mentioned California as a potential place of living in the future. And it just happened. So I didn't know where I'm gonna apply for the green card and I'm gonna win the green card. It's just everything what being said at the wedding just happened. And I want to just say at the end that I wish we could celebrate the weddings every year, like birthdays. Because some husbands like mine, who's here, totally deserve it. Because sometimes he takes me being so emotional. Once I asked him, how do you even tolerate me? And he said such a beautiful thing. He said, I don't tolerate you, I love you. Aww. And I think, I wish we can celebrate our wedding every year. We're gonna do that. Thank you very much.
Вы сюда обязательно вернемся, только другим.
Надежду Николаевну с замечательным праздником. Первой годовщины семейной жизни.
Я Серебренникова Надежда Николаевна, всегда Серебренникова. В третий раз, стоя на этом самом месте, подтверждаю свое прошлогоднее желание видеть тебя, Сергей Макушин, в своих мужьях. И в России, и в Чехии, и в Амстердаме, и в Калифорнии, и в Австралии, и вообще куда судьба нас не занесет. И клянусь быть тебе годной женой.
Годные
уедет 7:40, он уедет, может уедет, а может никогда. 7:45 на поезд, но я не беспокоюсь. 7:40 танец зовет меня туда, где каждый сможет быть счастливый без труда, когда душа навеки молода.